Okay, so today we'll start, RHCSA course, which is basically we'll be exploring what Red Hat is and how Red Hat works and how do you run those commands. And we'll also cover the importance of Linux. And, along the way, we will learn a lot of stuff compared to, when it comes to compared to other Unix, Ubuntu, and CentOS, we will try to, explore various concepts on Red Hat and all those stuff. Okay, so basically, Red Hat calls this as a rapid track because Red Hat has multiple courses like 124 and 134. Those are the Red Hat System Admin 1, System Admin 2. But since students cannot spend time on two courses and they don't need to write two certifications, right? So what they have done is they have combined 124 and 134 into 199. So this course is 199 course, RH199. So this is a combination of both RH124 and 134. Okay. All right. So that, and we will be focusing on Red Hat 10.0 version. This is the latest version, which is Red Hat 10, is the latest release on Red Hat, and your exam will also be based on the Red Hat 10 version. Okay. So that is about your RHCSA course and the version that you'll be working on. So there are multiple chapters, as I said, right? So it's a very comprehensive topic where we will be covering a lot of stuff. So and also when we do, right, in the class, I will cover all the theory and I will also do the guided exercises for every lab. So every chapter will have guided exercises and it will also have a lab at the end. So this lab is a cumulative lab for this whole chapter 19. So when I deliver the training, right? So I will cover the theory and I will do all the guide access lab. Okay. So I will leave this lab for you to practice. Okay. So there will not be any new concepts. It is just an additional lab that you guys should practice. Right. Also, if you are preparing for the exam, uh, mostly 99% of the questions will come from this PDF. I mean, when I say PDF, it's not like exact questions. The topics will be same. Only thing is you will get a different, what do you call questions, but the concepts will be picked up from this book itself. Okay. So before sitting for the exam, you need to do this guide exercises and labs at least 3 to 4 times for all the chapters. Then you will get hands-on and your exam will be a performance-based exam where you have to sit and write the exam and they will give you the scenarios and you need to solve those questions. So it will be a 3 hours exam, right? So there is no MCQ questions. Everything is what do you call uh, all the questions are performance based and you need to solve those questions. Okay? That's how your course will go on, right? And you need to practice them multiple times. Then only you understand the topic. Right? Now, so next thing is you can skip all these things. It's an intro, right? But as I said, right, course objective is to learn Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and basically we'll be focusing on system administration tasks like installation, storage, networking, package management, files management. As I told you, right, this is a combination of Red Hat 124 and 134. Okay, this is a combination of both 124 and 134. Right? Again, audience, it's up like the team, the students like you who are willing to learn system administration tasks and implement these tasks, right? So they will be best suited for this trainings, right? And coming part to the orientation, like how your classroom environment will be, right? So as I said, like workstation machine is your jump host, right? So generally, your classroom, your machines are in the student network and you will have a workstation machine and workstation through the workstation you can log into server A, server B, and server C. So mostly whatever activities you perform those activities either on server A, server B, or server C. Right? 99% you don't touch workstation, but unless if there is any activity, you touch workstation. Otherwise, you will work or solve all the questions either on server A, server B, or server C. Right? And this is a classroom network, and your classroom also will have access to the internet and facility center. There are some utilities that you need, so those utilities also can be accessed through your server. And your domain name, all the Red Hat labs, whether it is OpenShift or Red Hat, Ansible, whatever it is, right? Their domain name is example.com, right? So, and then there is a subdomain called lab. So all these servers will have this suffix in the name. Server A dot lab dot example dot com, server B dot lab dot example dot com, server C dot lab dot example dot com. So those will be the fully qualified domain name of your machines, right? So if in case while I am covering these topics, right, let's say I talked about this domain name and subdomain name. If you don't know what domain is, what subdomain is, you just unmute and you can ask me, because I don't, I'm assuming that you know, but if you don't know, it's okay. You can ask any question, right? So this is the domain name. Under this domain, I have a subdomain called lab. So all your machines are part of lab.example.com. So DNS is a domain name service which resolves IP to host name and host name to IP address, right? And again, you don't have to memorize all these IP addresses because we use names. So we have multiple machines, right? Workstation is a graphical workstation that students uses. Server A, server B, and server C are your client machines. And there is one more machine called utility.lab.example.com that acts as a specific, you need some extra services, right? Those services are deployed on this utility lab, and there are also one more node called classroom content and material that provides the classroom materials for you to practice. So these are all the machines, but primarily these are the three machines that you will be working on. Rest all, you don't have to worry about the other VMs. So server A, B, C are your main focus. And also, as I told you, if in case any one of the server has crashed, right, because you are doing some testing and you crashed your operating system, right, simply go to your console, delete the lab, and then recreate the lab. Don't do individual actions like power off, power on, restart. Just delete the whole environment, and then when you delete, after deletion, the button will change to create. Click on create. It will take hardly 5 minutes to create the environment. So don't troubleshoot. If you have any issues, don't troubleshoot. Just delete and recreate at the moment, because you are still in the stage of learning, right? Once you are halfway through, or if you have completed all this training, right, then you can troubleshoot. If you really screw up something, you can troubleshoot then. Now, since you are in early stage, don't troubleshoot, don't waste time, delete and recreate the environment. And there is no limit. You can delete as many times as you want. There is no limit. Okay. So that is your environment, right? And controlling your systems. If you want to start, stop, restart from your workstation machine, you can run RHBMCTL, start server, view server, restart server. So this is where your this is the virtualization tool. So in our laptop, we install VMware Workstation and Oracle VirtualBox, right? So those are the type 2 hypervisors, right, which we install. Similarly, in Red Hat, we will install KVM. Okay, so KVM is the open source virtualization manager, right? So you can manage the VMs by using RHT, VMCTL, start server, view server, restart server. So this is how you manage the servers from the command line, right? Again, these are all the virtualization commands. You don't have to remember. Just copy paste those commands to start, stop the VMs.
So Arvind, so what exactly is KVM virtualization?
KVM is you have the VMware, right? So
Yes.
what VMware will do generally, if you have probably, I'll just draw a diagram so that you will understand. So here,
So, like, from my understanding, there are two types of VM love. So, one which sits above the host OS and one which sits with the host OS, right?
exactly.
So,
So
yeah.
here,
So, like, what exactly is KVM? Like, I never heard that term before. Also, like, I heard like KVM switches, but like KVM
yeah,
virtualization, like, never heard about. Yeah.
no problem, no problem. So generally, what happens is these are the physical nodes, right? Physical
Yeah.
servers, okay? Now, the
Yeah.
physical servers typically in late to 90s and 2000s, we used to run the operating system directly on these servers, okay? And then
Okay.
install the applications directly on this physical host. Let's say
Okay.
if this machine has maybe 10 GB of memory and
Mm-hmm.
5 CPU, okay? So
Okay.
let's say this is the hardware configuration, right? So what
Okay.
happens is I will deploy a Java application, let's say, okay?
Okay.
Java or any web server, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will have the IP address, I can connect remotely, everything is not. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the client who is sitting, somewhere in the internet or whether you are sitting in office, that's okay. He will
Mm-hmm.
connect to this particular node and then
Okay.
be able to access the web server or the application, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
this, you might have 100 users or 1,000 users who are accessing your application, right?
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
fine. But the reality, I mean, the challenge with this type of environment is okay. Here, the effective, even though 1,000 users are connecting, the effective utilization is only 40%, right?
Okay.
Only 40% of this 10 GB 5 CPU is used. The 60% is left idle, right?
Okay. So, like, why?
Because the application doesn't need that sort of resources.
Okay. Okay.
Application hardly might require only 3 GB for 1,000 connections. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So in this scenario, we are wasting the hardware resources, right? Now,
Yes.
if you have another server which again has the same requirement, this server will not be share the resources of this machine, right? Because those two are independent machines, right?
Yes.
It cannot share this two. There is no link between these two physical machines. So your 60% is getting wasted, right?
Okay.
And also there is a huge power requirement, right? You need power, right, to power on the
Mm,
servers, two physical
yes.
systems, right? So you need
Yeah.
power, you need a cooling system, okay? When you're running in data center, you need cooling system, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you need racks, and also you need switches, okay, because you need to connect multiple servers to one switch and all those stuff, right? So
Yeah.
which will take a lot of data center footprint, right? Data center footprint.
Okay.
So you need lot of space, physical space, power, cooling system, cabling, and switches to maintain just two physical nodes, right?
Yeah.
Suppose in this also, if you observe carefully, even in this node, the effective utilization may be only 60%. That's it. There are very rare scenarios that you see 80-90% utilized in a physical machines,
Okay.
because the application does not require that much of resources. And you might ask me, hey, since I have 60% left out, you can deploy one more application, right?
Yes. Always we can deploy one more application web
Or
2. Yeah.
something. But
Mm.
generally, we don't deploy multiple applications on the same machine because there are multiple reasons. One is customer might not be willing to run multiple applications on the same node. Second, if this node goes down, two applications will go down, right?
Yes.
That's also a challenge, right? And sometimes this Web2 might occupy the whole resources and it might impact the first application also.
Yeah.
Right? There are multiple permutation combinations. So, and also one more issue is if your web server is running on port 80, let's say the first application, you
Mm-hmm.
can't run the second application on the same port.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's also one more challenge.
Okay.
But there is an alternative. You can run it on port 8080 and
80. Yeah.
you have to do a port forwarding, which is again a tedious job. Not tedious,
Yes.
there will be little bit of latency when you do port redirection, right? So,
Okay.
and again, it all depends upon the customer. They might like it. They might have some concerns when you do port redirection. When you do port redirection, your web server should also be configured to enable the port redirection. So, a lot of things that it goes in the backend. So this is how a typical environment that we used to work in almost like 2000s. So when I
Oh,
started in 2005 as my career, I still remember we have a small data center where we have 20 applications running on 20 different physical servers with a huge,
okay.
and I still remember 4 GB is a RAM for that for my server.
Okay.
Right? So
4 GB.
that was the scenario, right? So, and
Yeah.
to maintain that 20 VMs, we need a cooling system, fire evacuation, the system, a lot of things, right? So that's
Yeah.
where we moved from physical machine to virtual machine, right? Virtual machines is where you logically divide the physical infrastructure, right? So if you, let's say if you have let's say 20 GB of memory and 10 vcpu, okay? So the 10 cpu, okay?
Mm.
Again, do you guys aware of uh, hyper threading in hardware?
Hyperthreading.
No, we don't.
No, no, we don't.
So that is also a very important topic. So generally you have CPUs, right? CPU
Yeah.
is like a physical CPU, right? So here, let's say if I have a CPU, let's say this is CPU, okay? Right? So this is a CPU. Now, generally what happens is probably, okay, I think I will open my CA slide where I think
Uh,
I
uh,
showed this slide yesterday.
Arvind,
Hmm.
Arvind,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt here. Are we not talking about KVM, which
Yeah, yeah.
Siddharth asked?
We are still we need to reach to that point actually. So why I am
Okay,
explaining
okay,
all
okay.
this thing is this all are required by KVM actually, right?
Okay, okay, cool,
You
cool,
need
cool.
to know how virtualization works. That is very very important actually, right?
Yeah, sure.
So then I will talk about tier one, tier two KVM hypervisors. I'll talk about that. Right.
Of
So
course.
I've shown this slide yesterday. Um, mm, yeah. So if you observe, we call this as CPU cores versus threads. Generally, what happened, like this was the technology, I think around 90s and 2000, early 2000s, right? So we have physical process, right? So physical processors, it will take only one task at a time. It processes the tasks and it gives you the output. So this
Yeah.
is
So this is called as core, right?
core.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Course. Yeah. So,
No. This is a CPU, physical CPU. There is no
yeah.
core.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Physical
So like one task is coming on coming to CPU and one output is coming from CPU. So that is called as one core. So
one.
if we are at 24 cores, so that means there are 24 processes running parallelly, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here, since I can run only one task at a time, what they did is they introduced the hyper threading concept. Okay, hyper threading is was developed by Intel and AMD. the technology is same, but they rebranded it as SMT, simultaneous multi-threading. So hyper-threading and simultaneous multi-threading. So these are the threading technologies which the Intel and AMD has developed. Now, one physical core represents itself as two logical processes. That is, a single core can take two tasks at a time simultaneously, and it can give two outputs. Right? So that is how your hyper threading will work, and this works at the BIOS level. In the BIOS, on the machine, we go to the BIOS, we go to the CPU, and we enable the hyper threading. Then only
Okay.
hyper threading will work. And this hyperthreading or SMT is important to configure virtualization. It can be any virtualization. It can be Hyper-V on Windows, KVM, VMware, Workstation, anything. Like even if you buy a new laptop, if you install VMware Workstation or Oracle VirtualBox, even if your hyperthreading is not available, it's not configured, your installation will not happen. It will ask you to enable the virtualization hyper-threading on your laptop. You have to reboot, go to the BIOS and enable the hyper-threading. Then only you can install the software. Right? Now, if you observe, this is how it works. See, you can have a node with two quad core physical processors. Right? So how many cores I have? See, quad core. Quad is nothing but 4. Single core, dual core, quad core, hexa core, and deca cores. Each processors will have a core. A core is splitted into threads. Got it?
Yeah.
Right? Now, each thread is nothing but one vCPU. Each thread is one CPU.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Right? So that is how
Mm.
VMware virtualization works. When you say one CPU in VMware, it doesn't mean that one what you call core. It is one thread actually.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
now this is how your virtualization work. Now here you can you can type one and type two hypervisors. Okay. So if you see, so type 1 type 2 hypervisor software platform that manage the virtual machine. So what is type 1 hypervisor? It's
It's a bare metal.
right? Installation directly onto the physical hardware. And this is the best practice for data center, server consolidation, and all those stuff. Example, VMware ESXi, Microsoft Hyper-V, and KVM,
KB.
which is
Okay.
open source virtualization, which is used by all Unix flavors. Right? You also have Citrix hypervisor, which is called previously they used to call Zen server. That is also is one of your hypervisor type. Type 2, we call it as hosted, which is installed as a software application on existing OS, which is Oracle VirtualBox, VMware Workstation, Player, Fusion, and all those stuff. Right? So type 2, for this, you need to have a base operating system installed. On top of that, you will install the virtualization software. And this is used in the non-production environments or for your testing or for practicing. Right? For production, server consolidation, we need to use type 1 hypervisors. The fundamental logic is same. Threads, cores, CPU, memory, distribution, cluster, everything is same. Only thing is how it operates will vary. Right? It can be KVM or your Microsoft Hypervisor or VMware ESXi. Okay.
Yeah, got it. So, and like KVM is a bare metal
Exactly.
partition, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And our lab environment is using KVM because Red Hat cannot promote VMware, right? Or
Yeah.
Hyper-V, right? So that is why,
Yeah.
see, generally, to be frank, if you really ask me, for virtualization, VMware is the topmost software. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is running. I mean, we have been VMware is there in the market from almost like 2 decades, and there is no software until now in the market which can beat VMware. This is the
Okay.
this is the reality, because it's very mature tool. It has all the plugins configured, installed, and lot of stuff. Like recently, not recently, like 2 3 years back, VMware was acquired by Broadcom, right? So what happened is Broadcom has increased the VMware pricing. Okay,
Okay.
so that's why customers are planning to migrate from VMware.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is they cannot find the equivalent tool like VMware. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, Red Hat also has OpenShift virtualization, but it's not like an apple to apple comparison. Right?
Okay.
Because VMware is very mature. No one can in the market right now. There is no one to beat VMware, right?
Okay.
So, so that is why even Red Hat, whenever they talk about virtualization in any courses, they focus on KVM. They don't talk about other virtualization. Okay?
Okay.
When you have Hyper-V, but Hyper-V is purely Windows
Micros.
environment, right? And mostly
Yeah.
all the servers are in Linux only. Especially in US and all, it's fully Linux. But in the Asian countries, you see somewhere Windows servers, but preferred when if it is server, they prefer to use Linux, because even I have seen servers which are running without reboot from last 7 years.
Without reboot from last 7 years. Oh my God.
So that is the stability of the Linux machine. But in Windows, if you simply change the host name, you have to reboot.
Okay.
I mean, see, that is how the Windows work. We cannot blame it. So depending
Yeah.
on your usage, you have to pick the OS, because I'm not favoring Linux here. But sad reality reproduction is Linux is very much stable, right? Compared to your Windows or any kind of environment. And also, there is one more server called Nutanix, if you guys have heard. Nutanix
No, I never heard.
also one of the, I would say Nutanix is one of the competitor to VMware actually, but
Mm-hmm.
not a real competitor, but at least VMware has Nutanix in mind. They think that Nutanix might be the next company to hit them, but unfortunately,
Okay.
they did not reach to VMware. I mean, they did not hit the VMware, so they are running the business actually, right? So,
Okay.
but VMware is the topmost tool, right? And here, coming back to our diagram, right? So,
Mm.
what we do is we combine these three servers, okay, and we create a cluster. We call this as a VMware cluster. Okay, VMware cluster. Okay, now here these are called nodes, right? And
Yeah.
the terminology is very important. The nodes, don't call them as servers. You need to call them hypervisors.
Okay.
Okay, you should call them as hypervisors. And the OS that you will be installing on this machines is ESXi. Right? The OS that you install is ESXi.
It's just
Right?
a
Okay.
terminology, Arvind.
Sorry.
It's just a term.
Yeah.
OSEXI.
No. OS is the key, normal operating system. The
Yeah.
is
Mm.
ESXi.
No. I'm talking
Okay.
about the hypervisors.
Hmm.
Is it just a term?
Term. Yeah. So they
Okay.
call it as hypervisors. Right? So hypervisor, in a layman term, hypervisor is a physical node that runs ESXi software or ESXi operating system. Okay. And now this hypervisor, whatever you install, which is your ESXi, it logically divides your physical nodes, and then it creates virtual machines. Now, if I have 50 servers or 60 servers, let's say if I have 50 servers and I have 10 VMs running on all 50 servers. So then how many VMs I'll have? 500. And
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's very difficult to manage those 500 VMs, right? You need a big team to manage those VMs, right? So
Yes.
that is where there is one more layer called vCenter. Okay, so this is called vCenter. vCenter. So vCenter is the one which manages all these physical nodes. All these
So it's so we have a like a Proxmox like which manages all the like a VVM is something like that.
exactly.
Okay.
Now, if you want to create a VM, you don't log into these individual physical nodes anymore. The user who is your admin user, he connects to the vCenter and then he will create a VM with his requirements like 2 GB memory, 2 CPU and all those stuff. And vCenter is a deciding factor. vCenter will check which node has resources. Let's say if this node has resources, it will create the VM on this particular node because it's a cluster, right? So
Yeah.
vCenter will decide where the VM will land. Now, the another advantage is what happens if this node goes down? What happens to the VM? Even the VMs will shut down, right? When
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
an impact, right? Impact to the business, right? So since all this are in the cluster, right? If this
Mm-hmm.
node goes down, this VM will automatically will migrate either to this node or to this node, depending upon
Okay.
node availability. Like if it has the resources, it will migrate to this node. If not, it will migrate to this node. So all this will be taken care by vCenter. You don't have to do any manual work, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is called a what you call VM migration. Like as soon as the node goes down, it migrates. But when you run individual ESXi node, there is no question of migration because you need to do them manually. Right? Here,
Okay.
since it's a cluster, the VMs will move to other nodes. Right? So that is how the VMware is pretty much mature to run production applications without any downtime actually. Right? So that is the environment that it works. Now here in our lab, instead of VMware on the client, they have deployed KVM. Okay, so that is the virtualization from the you know, and also this KVM
Great.
is type not type 1 because they installed Red Hat and on top of they installed KVM. It's a type 2 hypervisor.
Okay.
VMware is a type 1 hypervisor. This
Yeah.
one. This is how your cluster vCenter and all those works at the backend.
Mm-hmm.
So just a clarification, Arvind.
Hmm. Yeah,
So we are calling a server just as a hypervisor in
exactly.
this scenario.
Hmm, hmm.
And do we have a OS EXSI? Is just
Yeah.
an example.
No, ESXi is an operating system. Is an
Okay.
That's why I mentioned
Okay.
OS.
I never heard.
Yeah. So ESXi is a 1 GB operating system, right? That you need
Okay.
to install them on top of this node, physical node.
Okay. So multiple in this terminology, multiple nodes when
Hmm.
combined, it is called as VMware cluster.
Exactly. Exactly.
On top of that, which operates everything in a single parameter, it is called as vCenter.
vCenter. Yes.
That's it, right?
That's it. That's it.
And also one node, I mean one hypervisor, how many VMs can we create?
It depends upon your requirement. Let's say if this physical node has, 100 GB memory, okay,
Yeah.
and maybe 10 VCP, okay. Now
Uh-huh.
you can create 100 VMs, okay, or maybe 99 VMs, okay,
Uh,
99 VMs with 1 GB, okay, which has 1
Okay,
GB,
according
okay,
computation. Okay.
or you can create one VM with 50 GB and other VMs with 1 GB. So cumulatively, you need to decide how much of resource that you require. And generally, what happens is this all comes under designing of your environment, actually, right? These are
Yep.
daisy operations, right? So first of all, I mean, we generally, I do this kind of designing in environments, right? So we talk to the developers, we talk to the stakeholders, and we will talk to them, understand the requirement. I will also ask them what is the requirement, how many number of VMs they need, what is the memory CPU requirement, storage requirement, and networking requirement. I will gather all those details, right? And then I will sum up those requirements. Like totally, they might require 1 TB memory and 100 vCPU. That's the requirement. So I will procure 4 to 5 servers which can accommodate that 1 TB of memory and 100 CPU. And not only I will do that, I will add additional 20 to 30% buffer, so that if in case we need more resources, I will have some buffer. So that is how we calculate the cumulative resources, right? And the total number of VMs, it depends upon the size of each VM. You can you can, it all depends upon the size of the individual VMs. There is no limit like unit. I mean, there will be a limit, and I don't recall the numbers actually. There you will have 500 VMs or maybe 200 VMs minimum, I mean maximum, right? But I don't think you will. I think nowadays VMware can support up to 2 TB memory. The server can have 2 TB memory also. Two, not even 2 or 4 TB, right? So it's a huge server, right? Then definitely you can deploy more than 300 VMs also, right? So I mean, that's all internal to VMware. I mean, it all depends upon the number of VMs, right? But to answer your question, it all depends upon the VM size, each VM size.
Yeah, again, one more clarification, right,
Mm.
Arvind? So vCPU is just a thread.
Thread, yes, yes.
Okay. So a core performs a single input, a single output, which
Mm.
is CPU, and the
Exactly.
thread come and performs two
Mm.
processes
Ex-
and two outputs.
Exactly. Yes,
That's it.
that's it.
I mean, are we calling a core as a thread, or is it a part of the core, the thread?
No, no. Thread is a part of core.
Okay.
One core is a physical core, right? Is a physical core, right? If
Okay.
you observe
Yes.
this
Yes.
diagram, right? So this one, probably have to move here. Right? Here, if you observe, see, this core is physical core. This
Yes.
core will be divided into two, right? So that is how it works. So core is physical, thread is logical.
Okay. We need to configure it.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And you might, again, there are different options, right? You have single core, dual core, quad core, hexa core, deca core, which 10 cores. Okay? Now
Okay.
you have a lot of cores. You have in desktop itself has 64 cores actually, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it all depends upon the requirement, and that all comes under the planning stage, right?
Okay. Got it. Perfect.
Now, again, you don't worry about these commands. These commands are only to manage the VMs. So nothing to do with Red Hat or with the training. Okay. This is just to start stop servers from the workstation. If not, you can go back here. You can go back here and start stop delete the VMs from here itself. You don't have to by heart, because there are a lot of other things that you need to learn, which is again where you will be deviating again the topic from Red Hat actually, right? So these are all the commands which you don't need to remember, recall, no need to run also, right? So if something is not working in the graphics, you can use these commands on the workstation to manage your VMs. That's it. Okay,
Okay.
right? That's it. And same thing I told you, right? You can delete, start, stop the environment. You can open the console. You can delete, restart, stop individual VMs from these actions as well. Okay. And then, and again, when you click on create, it will start building the environment. You will see instead of active, you will see building. You have to make sure that the building stage changes to active state. Then only you will be able to log in and perform the activities.
Okay.
Right. So that is one thing. And active is like you can log in, stop this, the environment is stopped. You need to start those VM to log in and start the permissions. Right? Again, you can start, stop, delete the environments. Right. So once you click on delete here, the VMs will be deleted, and then here this button will change from delete to create. Click on create, it will create the environment. And when you click stop, it will stop, and this button changes to start. Right? The same button will automatically change to start. Right? You can start, stop, delete, and create the environment. Right? Right? And also you have an auto stop option as well. Like if you go to the lab, you will see auto stop and auto destroy. Right? So auto stop, like if I forget to stop, because I told you, right, these are all time bounded labs. So if you forget to shut down this lab, so after 2 hours your lab will shut down. Right? If in case you want to extend the lab, you want to work more, right? So you can click on plus symbol. It will add 1 hour, additional 1 hour. So my environment will be there for the next 3 hours. After that, it will shut down. It will not delete, it will shut down. You can just power on and you can start it. Right? Automatic shutdown will not remove the VMs, it will just shut down the VMs. That's it. Your data will be there. Okay? And auto destroy after 14 days. So after 14 days, this environment will be destroyed automatically. Then again, you can click on create and create a new environment. Right? But when you do a auto destroy, your data configuration will be gone. If you save any files and all, it will be gone. Right? Auto stop, it won't delete, touch your files. Auto destroy, it will wipe all the VMs and it will create the new environment. Right? Right? And performing lab exercises, every lab, right? Whenever you want to perform, you need to perform the run the lab command, lab action, and the name of the exercise. Again, we will discuss this when we do the lab. So lab start, lab select, lab start, lab finish, lab grade. Right? You can start the lab, you can finish the lab, and you can grade your lab. Like once you're done with the lab, who will validate whether you have done right or wrong, right? So you can run the grade command. So that will tell you whether you have done correctly or not, or if you have not done correctly, it will give you a message, that so and so, what you call, lab, so and so task has not finished, right? It will give you some warnings. Okay, that is fine. Okay. Now, that is about how you manage your environment, how exactly your environment will look like for this particular lab. Now, now the first thing is registering systems for Red Hat. Now, remember, you have a Windows operating system on your laptops, or you have MAC address on your laptops, right? So,
Yes.
are they registered operating systems?
So, like, what do you mean by registered? Like,
Those are
it's a
not
lie.
those are not pirated softwares, right?
Yes, they are like a
No.
licensed stuff. Like we buy some license for the software. Yeah.
Right. So when you buy a laptop, previously in the olden days, I mean, maybe 10 years back, they used to give a standalone laptops. You need to buy the operating system with a physical CD. then you will install the operating system, and then you will register your operating system. So nowadays, they are giving the bundled solution. Like with laptop, they give you a registered Windows version. And what happens with a registered Windows version? If in case you get into any troubles, you can still reach out to Windows or Microsoft, and they will try to fix the issues because you have purchased the software from them, right? So again, there are different types of licenses: perpetual licenses and subscription-based licenses. Perpetual license is like where that's a lifetime software, right? If you buy a software, you can use it for lifetime. And subscription model is where you will pay every year for this support, like your Netflix, Amazon Prime, or whatever uh, OTTs, or you use those subscriptions, right? Those subscriptions are your not perpetual, because you need to pay either monthly or yearly to get those services, right? So similarly, Red Hat will not call them as license. In Red Hat, we call them as subscription, right? So when you see, now you would have heard about this common statement, right? That Unix or Linux is free, right?
Yes, yeah.
What is the meaning of free?
It's an open source, so some like the source code is available, so I can pull that source code and make some changes for my requirement. So that's a open source, right? So all the Linux and Unix are like open source.
Exactly. So that is, people think that it is free of cost. No, it is not free of cost. It is free to use,
Yeah.
and free to modify, right? That is, I can take a base Unix kernel, I can build my own kernel, my own operating system, and
Yeah.
I can sell that operating system as well, right? That is the meaning of open source, or when I say free, the source code is free, right? Initially, the Linux store world, right? The person behind all these things is a Linux store world, right? That's the guy
Yeah.
who built the Linux kernel, right? And
Yes.
once he donated that to open source, that is where multiple companies have built their own flavors. Like Red Hat has built Red Hat OS, SUSE, Ubuntu, CentOS. Again, CentOS Fedoras are from Red Hat streams only. You have Kali Linux. You have hundreds of Unix-based operating systems are there. And
Yeah.
your routers, switches, firewalls, your Android phones, right? Any small devices, electronic devices which needs a software, definitely Unix will be there for every platform, right? So that is where the Unix, the open source will come into picture. So you can download, get the source code, and you can build your own platform, right? So Red Hat provides access to the software repositories through the Red Hat content delivery. Now, when you want to install any software on Windows, what do? You go to Windows Store, right? You go to Windows
Yes.
Store, and then you install the software, right? Similarly, if it is Mac, you use brew command. Brew command will talk to the Microsoft, sorry, a Mac repository, and it will install the softwares, right? So similarly,
Yes, yeah.
for Red Hat, they maintain a CDN, Content Delivery Network. This is where Red Hat dumps all the software, where the registered customers, like if I am a customer and if I have procured this Red Hat subscription, then I can use this CDN to get the softwares. Right?
Okay.
Red Hat runs on the subscription model, not on licensing model. Licensing is perpetual. It might be lifetime, but subscription is, it is based on yearly one.
It's just a kind of a repo.
Yeah, repo, exactly. The right terminology is repo. The term is repo.
Yeah, so like so if you do a DNF install Python, so it will search in CDN only, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of third-party CDNs available in the internet. You can
Oh,
you can install a package from a different. I think there is a website called rpmfind.net or something. RPM Find. See rpmfind.net. Yeah, this is one mirror, which is an open source mirror. There where you
okay.
download all the RPMs from here also. But the logic is if you install the packages from this website, Red Hat will not support because this RPM is from a third party vendor, right?
Yeah.
So they will not support, right? So
Okay, this
So
is only when the enterprise level lies at the thing, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So here, remember in enterprise, you see this is an RPM. These are all the repositories. Likewise, you can see different RPMs here. But these are all third party. So you should never ever install a package from third party vendor because you never know whether this has virus or whether we don't know what data it collects, right? So never ever install any third party in production, especially, right? So you have to use Red Hat CDN to get the software, right? Let's say if that software is not available in Red Hat CDN, then you have to reach out to the vendor. Let's say if you want to install a Dell software on your Linux machine. So either you need to search your software on CDN. If not, you have to go back and ask Dell. That's it. Don't download it from the third party vendors. Right? That is how the
yeah.
CDN will help you to. That is also if you install from CDN, since I have purchased this subscription, Red Hat has to fix my issue because I have paid for the subscription. If you install from third-party sources, they will not support the third-party installation. Customers with active subscription can access Red Hat content repository to install new software packages and stay up to date with latest updates. In addition to software updates, an active subscription provides customers with technical resources such as customer portal, knowledge base, documentation, insights, support services. So when you buy a subscription, you will not only get the software, you will get the customer portal, knowledge base, access to knowledge base, document, insights, Red Hat Insight. Again, Red Hat Insights is a tool which provides the insights of your VM, like what's happening inside your VM. It will proactively tell whether your server is good or whether the server needs some resources. It will analyze and it will give you a report so that you can proactively react rather than reactively, right? So that will help you to analyze the VMs, and you will, of course, you will get these support services, right? Again, these are all marketing terminology. You won't need to worry about all these things. And the customer portal is at access.redhat.com. So if you are working in productions and if you want to raise a ticket, right? So you have to log into this particular website, access.redhat.com, where you need to log in with the credentials with which you have purchased your subscription. And if you're working for a XYZ company, that XYZ company will have an account with Red Hat. Okay. So your company will give you those credentials. Right? You log in with the credentials, raise a ticket, and then Red Hat will work with you to fix the issue. Right? And recently, off late, they started this hybrid console. I think from COVID, this hybrid console came into picture. So hybrid console, the name itself is a console, right? A console which gives you an overview of your Red Hat environment, like whether it can be OpenShift, Ansible, Linux, Insights, Satellite. There are a lot of tools, right? So you can get a look and feel of what services you are using, what Red Hat services you are using in your company. So all those things can be seen through the hybrid console. Right?
And also one question, Arvind, sorry to interrupt you. So what is actually a console? Is it just a server? It's just, I mean,
Okay, right.
just a terminology?
I got your point. So console, now I'll give you a scenario. So you know VMware workstation, right?
Yes.
Right. Now, let me open up my workstation. Right. Now, you see this workstation, right? Now, there are three VMs here, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll power on this VM, right? Now, you see the actual desktop of your VM, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, you see what is getting loaded on the VM, right?
Yeah.
This is called a console, right? See, this is your console. I don't need any third party tools, putty command, putty tool, or any tool to connect. I will open my VMware and I will log this. I will see the console here. I can log in here, right? Similarly, in the production environments, we talked about this physical servers, right? This
Yes.
physical servers will be mounted in a rack. You know racks, right?
Yes.
Right? You will have a rack, and each rack will have a monitor. Okay,
Yes.
so I will say data center rack with ILO. We will say ILO actually integrated lights on. Okay, so that is the console that HP actually uses. Dell has a different story. They call it as I forgot actually. So they have ILOs, these remote control. Now, if you observe this, right, see this is how it looks like. See, do you see this image?
Yeah.
Okay, so all these servers, right? I can connect remotely from my laptop, right?
Yes.
But if there is a network issue, how do I connect to these VMs or physical nodes? I cannot connect, right?
Yeah.
So that is where I have monitor here, right? Here, this monitor, whatever you see, is connected to all these 10 servers, right?
True.
So this VM, this monitor is called a console.
Okay.
This is a console. That's it. It's a actually it's a monitor. That's it. But again, technically speaking, for console, it is on the physical node, not remotely. Right now, here, if you observe, I will open up a putty session. Right, my VM, I have the IP. Right, like I will log into this machine. Ubuntu. It's like I've logged in, right? So IP space A, if you observe what is the IP address of my machine, 86 dot 86.8,
80.
right? Now I will use a putty, okay? Right? I will open up a new connection. So okay, I'll session. I mean, I can use putty also. I think putty is really much more easy for you. Okay, so putty is a tool. Okay, uh,
Yeah.
you have remote desktop in Windows, right? So
Yes.
Windows will use remote desktop as a protocol, and Linux will use putty. Okay, so here
Okay.
192.168.86.8 logged in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Accept, and you give the username password. Okay, fine. It is working. I can connect remotely. I don't need this console anymore, right?
Yeah.
I don't need. Now let's do one testing. Now I will edit this virtual machine. Okay. I will disable the networking. Right. In the networking, probably I will open a command prompt from here, okay, just to show you the difference. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the command prompt, let me drag this here. Okay. I will do a continuous speak. ping 192.168.86.80-T.
-T. Yeah.
Okay, this continuous ping. It is working. Now I will go back to networking. I will untick this connected.
Okay.
Right? I'll click on OK. Now, will the ping stop? It
It
stopped.
has to.
Right?
Yeah.
And what about my putty?
It should also stop.
It should also stop. Right? I cannot, if I press enter also, it's not working.
Yeah.
In real time, right? In real time, let's say this is my physical server. Okay?
Yeah.
That physical server has stopped. Right? Now, how do you troubleshoot? See, the putty has exited. Right? How can you troubleshoot? You can't, right? But
Mm-hmm.
can I run enter command on the console? I can run any command, right?
Yeah.
So like in a like high level overview, console is a physical monitor connected to a server. That's it, right?
Exactly. Simple
Okay,
layman term
okay.
is the physical server connected, physical monitor connected to a server which doesn't require any tools to connect.
Okay.
Okay,
Got
got
it.
it. Hmm.
So that's the difference between a console, and we call this as a console, and we call this as a remote console. Putty is a remote console. I mean, console is a word you can use interchangeably, but so we call them this putty as a remote session actually. Remote session
So,
console.
so can we call this as a virtual console also?
Virtual console, yeah, actually, this is a virtual console. This is a physical console. In the diagram,
Okay.
physical monitor, right? It's a physical console.
Hmm.
And also remember one important point. Okay, server ILO port. Okay, I'll show you a port. Okay, now if you observe
Mm-hmm.
here carefully, have you seen the
Mm-hmm.
server in real time, the physical server?
Once I saw also.
Okay. So if you observe, you have network cards on your laptops, right? RJ45 port,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Similarly, server will have multiple RJ45 ports because while buying the server, I will tell I need four physical network cards or two physical network cards. Okay, that is for the normal, normal network connectivity. Okay, now here I will show you a server. Okay, see, this is the one, right? Now, if you observe this carefully, right? See, for every server, you have normal ports for connecting, right? And you have a special port called ILO port because generally this physical racks they will be somewhere in the data center, right? If you are in if your data center is in US, UK, or wherever is in the country, you can't
Mm-hmm.
go to the data center, right? And
Yeah.
generally people are not allowed inside data center generally, right? Because unless there is any hardware failure, person will go inside and he will replace the hardware. That's it. Apart from that, everything should be done manually, right? Now what we do generally in real time is you see this ILO port, right? So we also connect this ILO port to a switch and we will assign an IP address to this ILO so that my through this ILO I can get a physical virtual console like this, like my vCenter, my workstation. So
Okay.
I can see what is happening on the node by connecting to the virtual console. So this is virtual console ILO. Physical console is the physical monitor connected to your laptop or to your server.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Yeah. We can simply say, I mean, which are not accessed. I mean, which are, for example, if you don't have any third party apps or something third party, and we all have all licensed. It
Yeah,
called as a console.
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So that is
Thank
all about your concern. Again, see, people nowadays, because of this trend changes, they use the words interchangeably, right? Right.
you. Yeah,
So actually, that's why you see the name console.redhat.com. It doesn't mean a physical console, but generally, console is a place where you can get the statistics of a physical server, right? How the server is, right? Similarly, the console redhat.com is like a place where you can get a placeholder where you can get all the activities of your Red Hat softwares. So that is why they named it as Red Hat Cloud Console. Right? So again, don't confuse with this console with your physical console or actual console. So I
okay.
don't know why they named it, but console on technically speaking, it's a monitor. Technically speaking, is a physical monitor, right? Right. That is about your console, right? And you can access that console. And again, this is a normal website. See, if you open up this website, it's just a website with that particular name. That's it, right? Console.redhat.com. If you log in with your credentials, you will get access to the hybrid cloud console, and you will see the whole infrastructure, like how many VMs you have, how many VM you have registered, how many OpenShift clusters you have, Ansible clusters. It will give you a whole list of softwares. Right? It's a one place to get all your software details. Right? Currently, I don't have with this account, but usually you will see Red Hat, and how many Linux VMs we have, how many OpenShift we have, how many Ansible we have, right? How many machine that you have converted, right? All these things you can see it here, right? And then you can subscribe your VMs with subscription hyphen manager command, right? So either using a remote host configuration RHC or subscription manager. So what happens is, see, whenever I don't know whether if you have brought a older laptop like 10 years back, you will install the software and you will remember you used to enter the key, right? Key of your
Yeah,
operating system, right? And then that should have internet. Your laptop should have internet. Once you key in the key, and then when you submit, Microsoft will validate, and then it treats that your machine or key is a valid, and then you will get the access to your and your machine will be registered with the Windows operating system, right? Same thing when you buy the Red Hat subscription, Red Hat will give you an account, right? So with that account, you need to log in using the RHC command or subscription hyphen manager command, where once you run this command, it will ask you the username password. Once you log in, then you can register your machine. And once you register, you will get all the softwares from Red Hat. Again, it has Red Hat has a lot of softwares which it distributes, right. So generally, if you observe, maybe I'll say Red Hat portfolio, okay? Red Hat software uh, portfolio, okay? So if you see all products in Red Hat, see how many products you have. Products from A to Z: Linux, developer suite, application foundation, OpenShift, JBoss, AI, right? OpenShift Lightspeed, service interconnect, JBoss, data grid, runtimes, 3-scale API. You have hundreds of tools, right? Now, the question is, if I buy a Red Hat subscription, will I get access to all these products? No, right? Because
Yes. So we don't get when we buy subscription of the software.
no, if we buy see, again, you cannot buy all these products as one subscription, right?
Okay.
If you buy Red Hat subscription or Red Hat licensing, you get only access to Red Hat software. You can't have access to neither to OpenShift nor to Ansible.
Okay.
Again, if you want Ansible, you need to procure this subscription. If you want OpenShift, you need to buy this subscription.
Okay.
Right? So, depending upon your purchase, you will have the repositories. And what is repository? We discussed, right? Suppose repository is a collection of softwares, right?
Mm.
Now, Red Hat Enterprise NX. So remember, you have Red Hat 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now 10, right?
Yes.
Red Hat 10. So every version has a repository because you cannot install Red Hat 10 packages on Red Hat 6 or Red Hat 7. There will be a compatibility issue, right? So when you install a package, you need to enable the proper repositories, right? So you need to enable the repositories, right? And then you need to install the package. How to install? There is a chapter we will look into that, right? How to install packages and all those stuff,
Okay.
right? So repository is a collection of packages that needs to be enabled on the node to install the package, right?
Yeah.
That is the tool. And then this is how you connect. See, RHC connect. It asks for username, password. Then your machine will be successfully activated, and then you will be able to connect to the Red Hat machines. Once it is connected, your machines will have access to the subscription, right? Right. So if you want to disable some features, you can also say hyphen disable feature analytics and remote management. So you don't want some services to be disabled because you don't need that analytics and remote management. You can switch it off as well. So you have that flexibility to do that, right? And also, most of the production environments, if you observe, your servers will not have internet access, right? Not sure
Yes.
if you guys have observed,
Yes,
no
yes, we do.
internet, right? Either you will have a proxy server or you will have a DMZ server which has the internet access. Okay. So how to register those servers which doesn't have the internet, right? So in those
Mm-hmm.
scenarios, we can download the activation keys and we can enable the activation keys on that particular node as well. Okay. Or there is one more method as well. Not sure if you guys have heard Red Hat satellite server. Right? So Red Hat satellite server is the Red Hat update server. Like generally when you update the Linux machine, like in a Windows, you get updates, right? On your laptop, right?
Yeah.
When you click on update, where it gets the updates from,
Wingit?
it gets from the Windows website, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Windows, what you call store or whatever it is, right? It gets from an official Windows website or Microsoft website, right? And then you can install. Two criteria here. One is it connects to the Microsoft website and it needs internet also, right? Without internet, you cannot update. Similarly, Linux, when you run this command RHC register or RHC connect, right? It needs internet connection. Without internet connection, this will fail. Then, so
Okay.
connection definitely needs internet connection. So, but as I said, 90% of the companies they don't allow internet on the servers. So in that case, what we need to do, right? So that is where Red Hat has introduced a software called satellite server, Red Hat satellite server. So what they do is they will in the environment like if let's say this is your company, within the
Mm-hmm.
company I will create a VM, right? And I will install Red Hat satellite. Okay, okay, and this server will have internet. Okay, either in the form of proxy or this server can be in the DMZ zone, demilitarized zone, right? it's a specialized zone. Every companies will have. If you want internet access, they will put those VMs into the DMZ zone. Okay.
Okay.
So what this satellite does is this satellite will connect to the Red Hat portal. Okay, and okay, it connects to Red Hat portal and it will download all the packages to the satellite server. And my VMs will connect to satellite. They don't talk to Red Hat portal directly.
So it's like a NAT gateway, right?
Uh, it's in a layman term, yes, but not actual gateway. So it's a gateway to maybe repositories. You can tell it in that way.
Okay.
So satellite will download all the packages and then it can install. Also, let's say you are in a banking sector or you are supporting a country's military project where they don't even allow internet here. Even here, they don't allow internet. Then what we do? So on the user laptop, okay, I will download user laptop. User laptop, I will download the Red Hat repo. Okay, Red Hat repo, and which can be of size 30 to 50 GB. Okay, and then I will get the approval. Okay, and I will connect my USB drive to this satellite server, and I will dump everything under the satellite server. It's
Okay.
it's a tedious job, but in a very
So,
secure environment, we need to do this. Of
okay.
course, also this is not on the laptop actually. The company will give you a machine. Company will give you a normal desktop. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
desktop which has the internet, right? Desktop or laptop which is in the company only, right? So where you connect USB drives, you get all the the software downloaded from the internet from Red Hat. Again, you will scan this USB drive with your antivirus tools, and then you will connect that to the server. Again, this is a long story, but don't get into this. But I'm just giving you a scenario, like
Mm-hmm.
how we run updates in productions, right? Right. So this subscription needs connection to the internet. If not, it will not work. Otherwise, in such cases, we can use satellite server, right? So when you use satellite server, you can generate the activation key. So RH Connect activation key, and your company, you will create an organization in your satellite server. So all your servers will be registered to that particular organization. Right? If you want to unregister your machine, RHC connect, disconnect, sorry.
Disconnect.
So it will disconnect your server from the Red Hat subscription. Right? So yeah, or if you don't want to use RHC command, RHC is a new command actually. Previously, we used to run Red Hat subscription manager register, and subscription manager status, and subscription manager inside client register is also. I told that inside is a tool, the free tool that Red Hat is giving it to the customer. The name itself says insights, right? This software will give you insights of your VM, like what's happening inside the VM, how it is performing, how it is progressing, whether it needs more resources. It will analyze all those things and it will give you a report. Based on that report, you can see if there is any malware attacks, all those things, and you can proactively fix the issue before hitting onto the servers, right? That insights will help you to do that kind of analytics. Again, the insights needs internet access again, so there is no way, right? So if you don't have internet, you don't need to register the insights client, right? So that is how you it all depends upon how you want to. And you also have the concept of role. So you can create a role actually, right? So whether it is a workstation, whether it is a premium dev test environment, you can mention the usage. Again, it all depends upon how you want to mention. It can be production, dev, test. You can mention whatever you want, right? So you can just, it is something like a labeling your notes with some particular label, right? So that is how you can register your tag your machines, actually label your machines, right? So subscription manager says purpose usage list all, it will give you all, and unregistered will unregister the video. Okay. RHC connect, RHC disconnect, subscription manager connect, register, and subscription manager unregistered.
Register.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can also, every machine has a rel console. We will see that later. Even your machine that you get, right, you can open the web console. Even this is a new feature that they added in Red Hat 9. Actually, previously we don't have the console. From Red Hat 9, they started the console actually. So again, generally, this by looking at this diagram or the image, right, you might see it is colorful and it is fanciful, right? But
Yeah.
but in real time, we don't install graphics actually.
Oh,
In
yeah.
Yeah, we don't install graphics on Linux machines. It's just a text-based installation because
Yes. Yeah.
graphics will consume more memory, right? So typically speaking, do you really need graphics for Linux machines? No, right? Unnecessary
No.
wasting the resources. Right? We don't install graphics actually. Right? Again, we can see that option at the time of installation. But this is a remote console actually, so you can access this remotely as well. But these look fanciful, but generally speaking, we don't do all this real time. Right?
Yeah. So hardly we will open the system, right? So after it's deployed, everything is done. We'll never touch the system again.
Yes, absolutely. Unless it
Mm-hmm.
is any hardware failure, then only we go to the console. Otherwise, we don't even look at the server actually.
Yeah.
So likewise, yeah, I mean, it's a case by case scenario, right? See, some companies might entertain people to use this. Some companies they don't use it, right? So if it is a
Yeah.
totally a Linux-based environment, I don't think they use graphics. They are
Yes.
very much happy to run commands, right?
Yes.
And also, people enjoy. I mean, if he's a real person who likes Linux, he will enjoy to run command rather than doing it graphically, right? So
Yes.
that's it. Yeah. And yeah, this is again, we will cover all these things. So there is an installation. When in the installation, this is the last screen that you see, right? Again, we will see the
Yeah.
installation later. Don't worry. Right here, you will see you can select your installation destination, which hard disk you want to install, what is the source from which you're installing the this operating system, language, keyboard, date and time, your time zone, your host name, IP address, and your username, password of your root account. All these things you need to set up, and then the installation will begin. Okay. Don't worry, we will look at all these things at the time of installation. So all these things,
Yeah.
and at the time of installation only, we can connect to the respective Red Hat satellite or to the Red Hat website. Right? You can skip this and then you can proceed further, and later after the installation you can also activate this, right? So both are possible, right? So there are certificates, don't get into this as of now, so this is all confusing. So some concepts, right, you don't have to learn at this point of time, because these are certificates which will make you a bit confusing. So there is a purpose. If I skip that, there will be a purpose. I will tell you the purpose as well. In the upcoming sessions, we will talk about this certificates and all those stuff. Right. So certificate, this is the RCT certificate, which is, you see, generally you need a certificate file. You need some sort of authorization to install a software, right? Whether
Yeah. Signature we call a signature, right?
of those type, it is kind of a signature. So with this, you need to dump your certificate into this etc pka so and so, and then once you install, it will take this as a key, and then it will encrypt, decrypt the data while downloading and installing the packages. Okay, so that is fine. That's an advanced one. You don't have to bother, now at the moment. And there is a small quiz. You can do this quiz. That's fine. And there is a solution. Immediately they will give you a solution as well. You just cross check that solution. That's it. And that covers your chapter, first chapter.
So like I was like little confused. Like so it is like we say it's like RH199, right?
Mhm.
So just a clarification so we have EX200 as an exam and RH199 as a study guide, right? If
Exactly,
I'm not wrong.
exactly. So
So
here,
like I was thinking, so we registered for EX200, like I see RH900, so like I want to make sure that like my assumption is correct before we proceed,
yeah,
and and we end up in wrong course.
yeah. So actually, there is a bit confusing. I don't know why they have, you know, made this. But sometimes, I don't know who creates all this. The what do you call, uh, the naming convention, right? Is a bit confusing in Red Hat, right?
Yeah, sometimes like so we say in computing there are two difficult things.
Yes. So first of all, any course starts with RH actually, RH or D0,
Okay,
and exam starts with EX. Most
okay,
exam starts with EX code.
okay.
Courses starts with the either DO, RH, and nowadays they call AU as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but EX is exam, right? Now,
Okay.
here, for Red Hat, you have RH124 and RH134.
134.
Right?
Yeah, so that was I remember. That was I remember. Like we had two courses for EX200. Like where did 199 came from?
So this is the system admin one, system administration
Okay.
one, and this is system administration two, two actually. Okay. Now, this I think we have the exams as well. So let me check. We used to have exam. Do we have exam for RH124? Uh, no. So they removed the exam. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's no exam. Previously, we used to actually, when I wrote my first Red Hat exam, right, in
Yeah.
2005, there are two parts actually, right? First is RHC T and RHCE actually. Okay, so
Okay.
this is 2.5 hours and this is 3 hours.
Oh my God. Okay.
So that was the case when we wrote almost like 5.5 hours, right?
Mm.
Right. So now what they did is they changed this RHCT to RHCSA, Red Hat
Okay.
Certified System Administrator, right?
Okay.
Now here, people have to do these two certification trainings, and for this training, right? Okay, let me remove this. Okay, for this trainings, this certification is EX200. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
now that is a confusion. Now they clubbed these two courses, and now they called us RH199. Okay,
Okay.
but the
Yeah.
exam is same.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the exam is same.
Mm.
Okay, so if you want to, and this exam you will become RHCSA.
Okay. That's certified system admin.
Right? Now, if you want to do Red Hat certified engineer, you need to do Ansible, okay, which is RH294 is the course, and EX294 is the exam. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do either these two courses separately and sit for this exam, or they combined these two and they rebranded it as RH199, the fast track actually, and then the exam is same.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So, and when your course, you are registered for 199 and your exam will be EX200.
Okay.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we can stop here for today. I think we had covered extra things, right? So that's why it's only one chapter, but let's see how it progress. So,
And
so
one
far,
more thing. So before,
yeah, go ahead.
I just opened that classroom thing.
Hmm.
So still I cannot able to see the PDF which you are sharing or the
Do you have the lab?
VMs being. Sorry?
Do you see the labs tab?
No. So can I share my
Yeah,
screen
yeah.
so I can show you?
I will make you as a co-host. Yeah, try to share it now.
Share. Can you see my screen?
Uh, Not yet, probably.
And now?
No, let me stop my sharing. Yeah, I can see.
So like this same link which you sent yesterday,
Uh,
I refreshed it. So still I cannot see that two tabs which you shown like resources lab. There is nothing. There is no lab. If I enter also, nothing is happening over
I
there.
assume it's just blue jeans. This one. Uh,
Sorry?
I think entering classroom is like Red Hat. Here we are using Zoom, right? It will open up a blue jeans tab actually. So for the sessions actually. So no need to enter the class. Right? So click on join once you logged in freshly, right?
Yeah. So I will just like log out and log in again. Account log out.
I think log out, but
Log
let me
out.
do. So in
So
the case,
if it on. Sorry,
they
like I did. Like your voice not audible properly. Yeah.
my is it now here or still the same?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I can hear you.
So probably wait for some more time. What is the time now in US? Is it 9
So it's 10th. It's 10th.
10th? Probably the time zone might be different because these labs are from US, right?
So it's like GMT, right? So it is
GMT.
GMT.
Uh,
And like, is that instructor you?
no, actually, what happens is she registered with the Shanmugam name actually. Shanmugam, I told you right.
Okay.
Shanmugam is the one who takes care of basic Linux trainings actually. So
Mm-hmm.
since you requested for an odd time, right? So he has office actually, so he cannot take the class. So that's why
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
he gave me this
Mm.
training. So,
Okay.
yeah. So wait for some time. So in the meanwhile, you send the screenshot to Madam Silatam.
Okay. 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 So like, yeah.
You can just drop the screenshot in the same group chat and tell that you haven't got access to the labs. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
she will all the management she will take care, like she will talk to Red Hat and probably I think in next 6 hours or so you should get the lab because it's a US time zone, right? Probably I
Mm.
don't know, but you should get that.
And one more thing. So in the meantime, can you share the PDF which you have like the
Yeah,
way
yeah, yeah.
you have
Today
shown
I
it? So
will create a G drive and I will upload this recording and the PDF also today.
okay, done.
You drive. I'll do that. Maybe another 1 hour or 30 minutes. You will get
Uh,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So all okay, right? My speed and all is all okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Right. So let me know. It's you can anytime ask any questions. Don't hesitate. So, uh, but as I told you, right? Try to read and complete every topic the same day whenever you get some time. Or I'm not sure if you're using public transport while traveling. Just watch this recording while you're traveling in your lunch time, free time. Watch multiple times so that once you come back home, you sit for 30 minutes and you can practice, right? So
Sure.
that way you at least you need to practice 4 or 5 times this whole book. Then you will get some grip on Red Hat.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Guys, I will connect tomorrow same time. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
everyone. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Yep.
Have a
Thank you.
nice day.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Bye.